Hi, it's Guiliano from HealthyChefDude.com. I'm a chef on a mission to bring better food, and I'm here today with Ron and Arnie Koss, pioneers of the organic industry. And they just wrote a great book, The Earth's Best Story. And you guys are from Earth's Best Baby Food.
We started Earth's Best. We're no longer associated with the company, but Earth's Best came to market in 1987. And we've written a book. It's a memoir. It's an entrepreneurial tale. It's a David and Goliath story, and it's sort of like how we got to a place in our lives where we decided to make the leap and try to start the nation's first organic baby food company.
Really the first nationally distributed organic company as well. Not only the first baby food, but the first nationally distributed organic food company.
That's right. Earth's Best was the first nationally distributed organic company of any kind to sit on the shelf next to its mainstream rivals in the supermarkets.
So you guys were the pioneers of this type of organic food. I'm sure there were smaller because there was organic. Let's talk about what has happened in organics along the way, because you guys have been involved in organics since back in the 70s, or you've known about the benefits of organics, correct? So you've always known that you've had to make a difference, and the baby food was a way that you guys were saying, this is how we're going to do it. So let's take us back to the beginning of starting an organic business back in the mid-80s. I'm sure it's a lot different than it is today.
Right. Well,
I'm sure it's easier. Is it easier? Is it harder?
Well, today it's you know, anyone that's doing it would probably say it couldn't be easier. But I would tell you that back in the 80s, starting an organic foods company was very difficult because, first of all, there wasn't national certification. Each state some of the states had no certification at all. Many didn't. The states that did had their own certification standards, and they didn't necessarily, I guess, agree with each other. Right. So there might not be reciprocity between one state and another. There weren't nearly as many people farming organically. There was very little secondary processing of organic fruits and vegetables. Mostly juice companies that were organic. They were the
or jam.
And so organic was more of a frontier. I mean, going back into the early 80s, people that were talking about organic were viewed as counterculture people, hippies. You know, it wasn't mainstream, and it took many years to develop national standards.
Okay. And
have the federal government, in 1990, the Organic Foods Act became law, and that created a national standard for organic, and that allowed organic in so many ways to jump ahead. And but when we started Earth's Best, we were the guys in those early meetings haggling about standards and trying to reach agreement with many other organic foods pioneers.
Now, you know, a lot of people say that, okay, organic's not the best, or organic, you know, you read stories in the paper all the time that how organic foods might be contaminated still, and is it really worth the extra money? And I've always been a proponent, well, yes, organic is a very important cause to support. So how can we counteract those kind of articles that get out there? Because, I mean, let's face it, everything's not perfect, and if something is contaminated, it's contaminated, not meaning that the farmer's intentionally contaminating it. It could be a contamination from anywhere, from the original part of the land, from a neighbor, who knows, from package. I really don't know where the contamination.
From a smokestack 3,000 miles away.
So, you know, I don't want to. Let's not discourage people from buying, because you read these articles and it discourages people. Oh, we might as well just stop wasting your money on organic and just buy whatever. But we really need to stress how important to support organic is, and organic, in most cases, is a lot safer.
Right. And the fact is that organic starts with building soil fertility versus mining soil fertility. So, I mean, one simple reason to buy organic is to support people who are building soil fertility. Without that, there isn't going to be the fertility to grow healthy fruits and vegetables and grains, and, you know, in years to come. That's one thing. The other thing is that the people who are growing organic foods aren't using synthetic pesticides. So, you know, if you have a concern about toxic chemicals in your environment, and you should, then, you know, paying a little bit more for an organic product is a way of supporting those people who are farming without those toxic chemicals. I mean, you know, and then if you expect the, you know, food to be perfect, then you have to change your expectations, because we don't live in a perfect world. But an organic farming system is a nurturing, ecological, conservation-based effort, and there's absolutely every reason to support that. And you know, you can find fault, and there is reason to scrutinize and to be diligent, but to be a contributor to the conversation versus to knock down and attack what essentially is good and important.
And well said, very well said. So the idea is, let's keep supporting it. Let's make the improvements to buy organic, support organic, and support the cause. Because from what we're saying, you know, the more the farmer gets to farm organic, the more his soil is going to be fertile, the more it's going to impact years to come. So it's very, very, very important. Now, as far as your plight along the organic way, so you started from state to state. Now, was that a disaster trying to sell organic in a state that wasn't certified, or a state that had different certifications? Did you have to get certified in all these states to claim it was organic, or how exactly did that work in the beginning? Because now we see the USDA sticker across, and you said that the Organic Foods Act, which solidified everything, but back then it wasn't like that.
Right. I mean, I would say that it was somewhat chaotic, and what we were supposed to do and not do wasn't always clear. Sometimes we needed more than one certification on our label.
Okay. Well, so more than one certification.
Right.
Okay.
Sometimes we had to go get certified in California and certified somewhere else and certified somewhere else. Sometimes...
Which costs a lot of money. Whether it's a lot or not, it costs money, and it probably adds up.
Well, what it does is you kind of get nickeled and dimed. You know, you have to travel, you have to send certification, you have to pay certification dues, and ultimately it's also time consuming. And the administrative component to being sure that everything, the I's are dotted and T's crossed, is basically it's money, and it takes human resources. You know, sometimes there were states that didn't have regulations at all.
So were those easy states to get the product into?
Yeah, I would say to you that when we started selling Earth's Best, okay, and we got a major distributor, and that distributor distributed in 13 states or 15 states. Okay, our product went into 15 states. Our product wasn't stopped at the border where they said, you don't have our certification on it. In every instance that I can remember, okay, we either worked things out, right, or jumped through whatever hoop we had to jump through to be sure that our product was on the shelf. But I can tell you that with the national standard, right, it created a lot lot less hassle, and it was more streamlined. The whole process was more streamlined. Major improvement.
Now, obviously organic production has gone up and up and up as far as acreage produced, but we're still at a fraction, probably a fraction of a fraction of a fraction what we should be doing across America. Am I correct? What are some statistics of the current acreage of organic planted versus when you first started?
0.6% of the farmed land is organic.
Less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
Now, when you first started, I'm assuming it was a lot less.
Right. It's grown exponentially, but it's grown exponentially, and there's still incredible opportunity for people who want to get into organic food production. It's really just beginning. This is a movement that's just beginning, and it needs to spread broader and deeper so that it's not so expensive to buy organic foods, and so that more people can have access to it. And that's the challenge for organic farming and food production. And I think that the more people who begin to farm organically, the better. The more people will get it, especially locally. And it's great to see in the Ellenville area that there's a lot more local production.
There is a lot of local production.
And that Aroma Thyme supports local organic farmers. So I think that's awesome, and I think there needs to be more and more of that.
Great. So I'm Marcus Guiliano. I'm here with Ron and Arnie Koss from Earth's Best, the founders of Earth's Best, and we have two things in common. We're all from Ellenville. They're graduates of Ellenville. I'm a graduate, so is my beautiful wife, Jamie. Say hello, Jamie.
Hello.
All graduates of Ellenville. They are coming through the area doing their book tour, and we all have a passion for organic. And you guys have really paved the way for a lot of for organic. and we really appreciate that. We really do. Jamie and I have very, very conviction or dedication to organic here, and thank you guys for being pioneers in this industry.
Well, it's nice to be here in your beautiful restaurant, and thanks for the opportunity to share our
pleasure.
story.
Our pleasure. And their stories all told here, the Earth's Best story. Great. Thank you.